finally, number 13, the last problem of this homework assignment. This equation is just like number 12, except this is the negative of number 12. So we already know what the graph should look like. It should just be the reflection of number 12 over the x-axis. Since the coefficient is negative in front of x cubed, that means that instead of coming from the bottom and coming up, it's going to come from the top and come down. Let's go ahead and answer these 4 over here. The shape of the graph is still cubic because the highest power of x is 3, and these other terms have powers of x raised to an integer power and then a constant. So this is still cubic. The y-intercept is still easy to find. You plug in x equals 0, you get y equals 2. On the last one, we had 0, -2, and so when you flip it over the x-axis, it just pushes it up to 0, +2. As x goes out to the right, the y value should be going down this time instead of up. And we'll see if that happens. And then last, as x goes to the left, the y value should be coming up. Let's go ahead and plug in these numbers. If I plug in -1, -1 cubed is -1, and then you multiply that by another negative, you get +1. 4 times -1 squared is +4. -3 times -1 is +3, +2. That gives me 5, 8, 10. We already said when we plug in 0, we get 2. If I plug in 1, I get a -1, +4, -3, +2. So that's 3 minus 3 is 0, plus 2 is 2. When I plug in 2, I get -8, plus 4 times 4, minus 3 times 2, plus 2. So that gives me +8. 8 minus 6 is 2, and 2 plus 2 is 4. And then let's plug in 3. Get -27 plus 4 times 9. 4 times 9 is 36. Minus 3 times 3, so -9 plus 2. If you're a little rusty on your multiplication tables, and this 4 times 9, you weren't sure that it gave us 36, I would say spend a little time going back and doing your multiplication tables. It's possible that you never learned that when you were younger, and it's always been kind of intimidating to you to try to figure it out. But your brain is a lot more developed now than it was back then, and it won't take you that long to figure out these multiplication tables if you go back and spend time on it now. All right, let's add these. -27 plus 36 gives me a +9. 9 minus 9 is 0. 0 plus 2 is 2. So let's see if we get what we expected to get. 1, 2, 3. -1. My y values go up to 10 and down to 2. So let's go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then let's plot these. -1, 10, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 4, and 3, 2. Okay. It looks like we're getting a rounded shape here. And from here on out, it's just going to keep going down. The reason I know that is because, again, this is cubic. The highest power of x is 3, and the coefficient is negative. So what this should do is come down and then do a little stuff in the middle. It might flatten out or it might make waves, and then it will come down to the right. So this looks like it should keep going this way for a little bit and then come back up. And once it comes back up, it's going to hit this point and keep going up. And if you go back and look at number 12, this does look like the reflection over the x-axis of the graph from number 12.